Hey guys, and welcome back to the channel, to another episode of my Let's Discuss series. Today, as chosen by you guys, I will be discussing DraftKings, which I actually think was very appropriate since this week was my 21st birthday, and obviously that ties pretty closely to being able to gamble. It beat out Microsoft and Square pretty handily, so be talking about that. I have a lot of thoughts. It's definitely a position I look forward to increasing significantly over the next couple of months at least. I'll kind of share my thoughts about that, and I look forward to doing so. But as far as anything with the channel, if you haven't seen, on Monday I did upload my latest episode of the M1 Journey, so check that out if you haven't already, and of course like and subscribe if you enjoy my content. It really means the world to me, so just do so if you haven't already. That's about all I have, so let's get ready to discuss DraftKings. So we'll kind of start off with a little bit of background information on DraftKings. For anyone who doesn't know, they're one of the largest daily fantasy sports and now sportsbook operators in the entire world. They're widely considered to be the industry leader in that space. They're still a pretty young company. They were founded in 2012, so this is entering their 9th year of operations. They are a recent addition to the stock market. They IPO'd in July of 2019 at about a little over $9. Since then, they've done extremely well. Just some key metrics about them. Their market cap at current prices is around $23.5 billion. So plenty of growing room there. Over the last 6 months, their share price has increased about 80%. Over the last year, about 325%. And since July 2019, when they first started trading, they are up 530%. So if you guys got in at that IPO, you're doing extremely well for yourselves. So congrats on that. They do trade under the ticker symbol DKNG. So be sure to check them out after this video if you are interested. At this current time, they do not offer a dividend. I expect it would be a while before they do offer a dividend, if they ever do. So that's kind of some key background information, and kind of move into some of my pros and cons. So guys, I'll talk about some pros and cons. I generally try to find 2 of each, and for DraftKings, I'll kind of start off with the pros. So first and foremost, above all else, more legalization is coming. At last count, only 7 states still do not allow fantasy sports gambling, which is really how DraftKings got their start. The number of states that have approved this has greatly increased over the last couple of years, especially as more interest has kind of come about in gambling, especially on sports. But however, for their sportsbook side of things, only 11 states currently allow sportsbook gambling, both in person and over mobile or on an app. But there are 10 other states that have approved sports gambling, but those are really limited to only in-person betting. So I think there's a great chance that in the very near future, those 10 states will also approve mobile sports gambling. And then I think over time, especially over the next couple of years, I expect more and more states will continue to legalize sports gambling in some way. So that's a definite pro, because they're already growing the business and they haven't even reached the full country. So like I said, they've only had 11 states where they're truly able to operate. So they have at least 39 states to go. So that will only grow their outreach and their customer base. So the second pro is the ease of access, both to gamble and the information that comes along with it. So although not many states have approved betting over mobile or over the computer, when that day comes, it's very simple to do so. Just simply download the app, simply go on the website, and you're there. You can just do it. So that ease of access of not having to go to a casino, not having to go to a bookie or whoever you place your bets with. So that ease of access is going to be crucial for them to continue to grow in the future. And then on the information side of things, sports odds and sports gambling is so integrated into the viewing experience now. There are entire shows dedicated just to looking at the odds, looking at over under, different things to bet on, even down to player statistics and what player won this award or what player will even be traded or something like that. It can be very specific as far as what you want to bet on, or it can be very broad. I mean, it is very, very user friendly in that way, and if you really want to know about it, you can very easily get all the information you need. So people being informed and knowing what they're doing is, again, going to be very, very critical for them going forward. However, with everything, there are going to be some drawbacks as the market continues to develop in the sports gambling world. I expect, although governments in the states will be legalizing sports gambling, I also expect that they will regulate it pretty heavily, whether it be by increasing taxes or finding a way to kind of get their hands on that money, as the government often does. So I could see some regulations kind of restricting what can and can't be done, which could definitely be a negative going forward. And then going hand in hand with that, of course, is the fact that maybe some states will hold out on legalizing for quite some time. I definitely could see that happening. But I think just in the last couple of months, I believe 25 states have at least looked into legalizing sports gambling, which is a very, very good sign, but it's very possible that some states will hold out for a foreseeable future. And then the other con that I could see developing, especially over time, is this is an increasingly competitive market. You're going to see a lot of services pop up that are going to try to compete with DraftKings. You've already seen some major players develop, like FanDuel and now the new Barstool Sportsbook. As I'm sure anybody who's investing is aware, Penn National Gaming acquired a significant stake in Barstool Sports, and they are partnering to produce their own sportsbook. I think it's only opened up in 2 states so far, so they're a little bit behind DraftKings in that regard, but definitely over time, with the popularity of Barstool, I'm sure they will be a fierce competitor with DraftKings for a long time. So those are just some things to kind of keep an eye on. We'll see how it plays out over time, but definitely I would say more legalization spreading across the country is going to be the thing that's going to determine their future more so than anything else. So those are kind of my pros and cons. I'll kind of share next my fair value estimate and how I would go about investing in them. So in these videos, I like to kind of assign my personal opinion on these companies, like a buy, a sell, a hold, whatever it may be for that respective company. But more so than anything I've talked about to this point in these videos, I think DraftKings is a definite buy. I see very little downside to where it is currently. As more and more states legalize, and that is an inevitability, more states will legalize sports gambling in the coming years. That will only serve to boost their numbers even more. So DraftKings, I have to say, I don't like to tell you guys what to do, of course, but I think it is a definite buy. Like I said, at current count, only 11 states allow their sports book, which is really going to be their bread and butter going forward, I think. So there's still a lot of ground to cover there. I think they're really just getting started. Again, they are trading at around $60 to $62 at current trading prices, and that's been up pretty well over last week. If I had to kind of gauge a fair value estimate, I would say honestly we're looking at about $100. I say that lightly because we never know what the future brings. It could be slow go. I'm getting more states to legalize, but I really think it'll move pretty quickly once it gets going. So honestly, I think fair value, I'm going to place at $100. And like I said, market cap's only about 24 billion right now, and I could see their market cap soaring to upwards of 100 billion pretty easily, depending on how things shake out, of course. So I think $100 is fair value, and I could honestly see upside of $200 to $250 depending on how things shake out. Now, of course, that's just strictly my opinion, but I'm pretty bullish on DraftKings, so that's kind of where I stand on it. I'm sure some people definitely disagree, and if you do, please share that in the comments. But if you also agree with me, share that too. So I always like hearing what you guys have to say. I hope you enjoyed the video. Again, I hope you guys know I am not an expert. I am not a financial advisor. So anything you guys do is please do on your own research and on your own due diligence. So yeah, if you enjoyed it, drop a like. If you enjoy my content, please subscribe. It really means the world to me. So that's all I kind of have to say for this video. So I'll wrap things up. Again, check out Monday's video, or check out last Thursday's video where I talked about the meme stock situation with the short squeeze, even though it's kind of coming to an end. So yeah, I will catch you guys in the next M1 Journey video on Monday. So catch you later, guys.